Hello po, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Sir Angel.
Dirinig niyo po ako?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Alright. So, good morning po sa lahat. Welcome po dito sa live webinar po na sponsored by Autism ADHD Philippines. So, sa mga admin po, I want to say thank you po for allowing me to use your platform to reach out and to help yung mga struggling parents natin na may mga kids na ADHD and autism and other special needs. So yun po. So maraming salamat po for this opportunity. And then so before we begin, medyo first time ko lang po kasi it's second time na magbibigay ako ng lecture online. So preempt ko lang po kayo kasi medyo hindi po ako sanay. So I was used to giving sessions na nakikita ko yung audience ko. So ngayon medyo yung mga actual reactions, so yung live so bear with me po kung minsan parang may mga blank po, may mga blank moment po. Okay po?
Okay lang po, sige po.
Okay po. Let me share my screen po. Ayan. So nakikita na po ba yung screen? Okay na po ba? Nakikita na po natin?
Yes. Yes, sure.
Okay, medyo may delay lang po yata.
Yes po, okay po.
Okay.
So sa live Zoom yata natin medyo nadidelay ng konti. Yung pag So okay na po?
Yes,
Okay po.
Okay
Alright.
po.
So this is what we're going to talk about today. So why is my child doing that? Understanding the reason behind your child's challenging behavior. So bago po ako mag-start, let me introduce myself po muna. So sino po ba si Coach Angelo? So yun nga po, as mentioned kanina ni Mami, so ako, tawagin niyo na lang po akong Coach Angelo. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So I work for more than 10 years for kids with special needs here in the Southeast Asian region. So particularly yung base namin sa Thailand. So I work under Center for Autism and Related Disorder. So yung Center for Autism, this is an American-based company. Okay? Now, so prior to pandemic, tawag dito, nung after kong magtrabaho abroad, so I went back home and established my own center. So nung hindi pa pandemic, meron akong therapy centers in Baguio and at the same time sa La Union. So yung pangalan ng therapy center is Kids Coaching Solutions. But right after the pandemic, so alam naman natin yung nangyari, so everything shut down. So prior also to pandemic, I'm a regular speaker, trainer of parents and educators of Autism Society Philippines La Union. So almost every month we have this coaching program sa kanila. So yan. As you can see sa pictures yan, we have a lot. We've done a lot of trainings. So different topics such as digital addiction, how parents could cope up with stress. So yun. So actually namimiss ko na nga po yung namimiss ko na magturo po ng live to see kasi maganda po yung interaction pag nakikita natin yung mga So pag nakikita natin yung isa't isa, so kung makapasok po kayo sa Zoom, better para at least kung may mga questions kayo later on, so we can open your mic and then you can ask it and then we can sabay-sabay natin bibigyan ng solutions or try to answer yung mga questions and mga tanong niyo po. Okay po? So currently, I provide parent training empowerment sa mga mom and dad to be the therapist for their own child. So bakit po ito yung ginagawa ko? Kasi based from experience from working, so ang nangyari, the most effective way po kasi talaga for us to be able to help our child is yung parent involvement. Yung parent, yung when it comes to experience, yung mga nakikita ko yung mga parents that are really in-depth or really into their child, talagang pinag-aaralan nila, kukulitin ako, tatanungin ako kung ano yung pwede kong gawin. So those are the kids that chances are to recover. Okay? So I just want you to know, and everybody, I want you to know na yung autism, children could recover from their diagnosis. Okay? So hindi nga lang supposedly I invited sana yung isang child na tinherapy ko for 6 years. Kaya lang due to time constraint, dahil foreigner sila, nasa ibang bansa sila, and then medyo busy sila, hindi siya maka-join. Pero siya yung kid na mismo that I've treated for 6 years, and he recovered from autism. So he's studying in a regular school. He has close friends. He has a relationship. He's already 14 years old right now. So nung tinherapy ko siya, we started 2 years old pa lang siya nung tinherapy ko siya. So I just want to give hope to parents na yes, kids do recover from their diagnosis. They can live a normal life. They can live like a neurotypical kid. But it can only be achieved through through intensive therapy, and at the same time yung help na manggagaling sa parent. So that's why napakaganda po nitong opportunity na to na meron tayong ganito na parent empowerment. It's because here, especially sa Pilipinas, not everybody could afford therapy dahil medyo mahal po. And at the same time, mahal na siya. So dahil hindi natin siya afford, so yung mga ibang bata napapabayaan na lang. So ngayon, for us to be able to help them is through this one, to empower you para malaman nyo kung ano yung mga dapat ninyong gawin to help your child at home, especially sa mga hindi nakakapag-therapy yung mga bata sa therapy centers. Okay? Now, so again, this is our topic. Why is my child doing that? So, yan. My goal for you today, ito lang, dalawa lang siya, is for you to be able to understand the power of behavior. So, yan po yung number 1 goal natin. Kasi behavior is, sabi nga dito, it's very powerful. Like I mentioned a while ago, kanina kay Mami Queenie, itong behavior is a two-edged sword. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? It could either help you or it could either cause you problems. So, depende kung paano mo gagamitin or paano mo titignan yung behavior to work on your side. So, that's what I'm going to explain to you today. So, yan yung matututunan nyo, paano ko gagamitin ito, turn around tong behavior na to work on my side to help my child to be able to cope up. Okay? And then, ito yung isa sa pinaka-importante is for you to be able to identify the reason behind your child's challenging behavior. So, napaka-importante po nito na malaman natin yung reason kung bakit nila ginagawa yung mga behavior na biting, spitting, screaming. So, kailangan maintindihan natin kasi if we don't know the reason behind the behavior, baka hindi natin alam, nire-reinforce na natin yung bad behavior. Kaya pala nila patuloy ginagawa yung behavior na to, unknowingly, we are teaching them the wrong way. Alright? So, excited na po ba lahat to learn? So, can I see yung heart reaction sa mga nasa Facebook Live po natin? Kung excited na po tayo, and at the same time, yung nandito po sa Zoom, can you type me so I can see kung ready na po ang lahat? Alright. So yan, nakita ko ang daming mga heart reactions. So my first question is this one. So what is behavior? So I know sino po yung mga umatan dito last time kay Sir Jomar. So sino po pwede yung sumagot? Tignan natin kung may natutunan kayo dun sa lesson nyo last July 30. So
kami umaten.
So yung mga umattend po, you can type your answer. Kung sino po yung makakapagsabi ng tamang answer, I will give a free consultation and parent training one-on-one courtesy of me. Pwede kong gawa ng home program yung anak niyo po. So,
Wow, ang
let me see your
ganda.
answer.
Answer na. Mag-answer na kayo. Ang
Yay!
bilis. Yay. Ang ganda. Ina-answer na kayo. Anong question po?
So, susumbong ko kayo kay Sir Jomar, ha? Wala kayong natutunan. Diniscuss na yan last July 13. Di po ba? So, sino po? Sino po pwedeng sumagot? What is behavior?
Ayun.
Ano po ba tong behavior na to? You can type your answer po dun sa...
Ito may answer si Marielo. The way which one acts or conducts oneself, especially towards others. Is that it? Ano?
Yes.
Tama.
Possible. Po, sir, sino pa po? Sino pa po yung may sagot?
So si Mariel. Dalawa pa po. Dalawang mag-answer.
There is no right and wrong answer po, but there is a prize for the perfect answer. Not hindi naman po perfect, pero yung medyo tama. Yan. So, sumagot si Ma'am Windy, the way a person or things acts or react. Okay? So, thank you. Thank you po sa mga answers nyo. So, let's make it interactive po para mas masaya po. So, Ma'am Windy, you can send me a message later on. Then I can give you a free consultation and probably kung ano, I can make you a behavior intervention plans for your kids, for your kid po. Okay?
Si ano din po yung si Mariel, yung kanina, nag-answer
Yes
din po. Tapos, makita mo na lang Sir Angel, andun sa Zoom na chat box. Si Mary Jane may answer din. At saka si Norman. Oh, may na-answer din siya.
Sorry. Yan, sorry. Hindi ko po makita yung nasa chat box. Sorry po kasi naka-asa sa mismong chat box kasi may naka-share screen po ako. So now, all right. So going back, ano po ba yung behavior? So sabi dito, behavior is anything a person say or does. It could be appropriate, inappropriate, or neutral. So sabi ni Sir Jomar, last training nyo, it must be observable action and must be specific. So particularly, itong behavior, usually it comes in the form of a verb. Okay? So mga action words. So ano po ba yan? For us to be able to understand better. So these are the examples of behavior. So speaking. So that is a form of behavior po. Screaming, biting, sleeping. So eating, playing, flopping on the floor, throwing objects, watching, hitting, and other more. There are lots of behavior that you can put in, you can write down. So yun nga lang, when it comes to behavior, sabi nga nila, there is appropriate and there is inappropriate behavior. Okay? So we classify that into two. And actually, three pa nga. Kasi there are neutral behaviors. So ano po ba yung mga appropriate behaviors? So yung appropriate behaviors, these are behaviors that are desirable. So ito yung gusto natin na matutunan ng mga anak natin, ng kids natin. And we want this behavior for them to, we want to see this behavior na ginagawa nila more often. So ano ba yung mga appropriate behavior? So for example, telling what I want. So, Mommy, can I have a juice? Or Mommy, can I play with the iPad? Those are appropriate behavior. So for example, after a long task, so you ask for a break. Can I have a break? So those are appropriate behaviors. Those are things that we wanted to increase. So ano naman yung inappropriate behaviors? So yung inappropriate behaviors, ito yung behaviors that are harmful to self and others. So they could be disruptive in nature and they could interfere with learning. So these inappropriate behaviors, these are the behaviors that we want to extinguish. Ito yung gusto natin tanggalin or ito yung gusto natin i-correct. All right? So why do we do the behaviors that we do? Okay? So there are only two reasons kung bakit natin ginagawa yung mga behavior natin. And it also goes the same way with neurotypical kid or kids with special needs or even with us adult. Dalawa lang yung dahilan kung bakit natin ginagawa yung behavior natin. It's either to get a good stuff and avoid the bad stuff. So what could be the good stuff? So these are the good stuff. So I can get to eat my favorite snack, play with the cell phone, so watch my favorite video. So running around, it makes me feel good when I run around, or sometimes when I jump on the couch. So it makes me feel good. Okay, so mommy and daddy me time. So the attention of mommy and daddy sa akin lang. Then spinning the wheels of the car, and some behavior is talking about dinosaurs. So these are good stuff. So I want you to remember that yung behavior is relative. So what does it mean? It could be a good stuff for me. It could be a bad stuff for other people. So the definition of good stuff is it will depend upon the people kung ano yung good stuff sa kanila. So sabi ko nga, like yung jumping on the couch. So it could be, you could see it as a bad stuff to you, but on my perspective, it could be a good stuff. All right? So what are the bad stuff? Okay? Ito, having to work. Diba? So most of us guilty dyan. So sa adults, minsan tinatamad tayo magtrabaho. Kung hindi lang dahil sa sweldo, so most of us for sure hindi tayo papasok ng work. So getting ready to school in the morning. Okay? So this could be bad stuff for others. I have to wake up early, take a bath. So yan. So giving up something that we want to keep doing. So for example, we are told to do the homework instead of watching videos or instead of playing outside. And yeah, listening to people to tell us what to do. So these are bad stuff. Okay? So what are some challenging behavior my child does? So these are all the typical ones that I tried to put in the slide. Okay? So yung mga ibang bata hate people. So for them to be able to get what they want, so dahil gusto nila mag-play ng cellphone, pag hindi na ibigay, nananakit sila, they could either flop on the floor. So especially, nararanasan natin itong flopping on the floor when we go to malls. Tapos napadaan tayo sa boys section area. Pag hindi na ibigay yung gusto ng anak natin, what do? Yan, they flop on the floor. Okay? Then running away. So papunta pa lang ng therapy centers, ayaw na, tumatakbo na, papalayo. Throwing objects. So yung throwing objects, so for example, when you presented a task, writing task, instead na magsulat, ang gagawin nila, kukuhanin yung paper and kukuhanin yung pencil and they throw it away. And then insistence of routines. So what are those? So for example, there is only a specific road na gusto kong daanan. Pag hindi ito yung road na dinaanan natin, I will do some challenging behavior like screaming, shouting. So I have this one kid before, he only drinks in a green cup. Pag hindi green cup yan, tawag dito, hindi siya iinom. And it also goes the same way na bago ako umuwi ng eskwelahan, kailangan uminom ako ng tubig. So I experienced this one client of mine. Nakalimutan niyang uminom ng tubig sa school and nakauwi na sila. So nagkaroon siya ng meltdown. What happened? That the parent go back to the school para lang uminom siya. So yun. Self-injurious behavior, banging their head, sinasabunutan nila yung sarili nila. Okay, they bite their own self. Spitting. Okay, so not following instruction or non-compliance. Pag may pinagawa tayo, sinabi natin, if we want them tidy up, and then as if wala silang narinig, wala silang ginawa. And lining up objects, hand flapping, side glancing, and others. So those are some of the challenging behaviors that we are experiencing with our child. Now, the question is, bakit ba nila ginagawa yung behavior na to? Okay? So, for us to be able to understand fully kung bakit nila ginagawa yung behavior na to, so I want you to remember this core principle of behavior. So, sabi dito, the consequences that follow a behavior control whether that behavior will increase or decrease. So anong ibig po sabihin nito? Ibig pong sabihin, right after the behavior, kung ano po yung ginawa nyo, yun po yung magsasabi kung patuloy niyang gagawin yung behavior na to. So remember, when we talk about behavior, it could be appropriate and it could be challenging behavior or inappropriate. So depende po sa ginawa nyo right after the behavior. That will tell you or that will tell the kid kung patuloy niya gagawin yung behavior na yon. Now, to understand this better, what we're going to do, we're going to divide the behavior into its simplest form. Okay? So, yan. So, how do we divide yung behavior into its simplest form? Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag yung three-term contingency. So, it's also called as behavioral contingency. So in simple terms, itong three-term contingency, tinatawag natin siyang ABC. So yun yung pinaka-simple na ano niya. So ano po yung A? So A stands for antecedent, meaning what happened prior to the behavior. Okay? So bago siya mangagat or bago siya manakit. So, what happened? So, yun po yung antecedent. So, sino yung mga people involved prior dun sa behavior niya? Saan nangyari yung behavior? Is it daytime or is it nighttime? So, what particular activity yung ginagawa niya bago nangyari yung behavior? So, that is the antecedent. So, it's very important. Ito yun, yung component ng behavior for us to be able to understand the whole behavior itself. Okay? So yung B, sabi nga natin kanina, behavior. So what a person say or does. So ito yung sinasabi natin so for example, yun nga, biting, screaming, shouting. So those are behavior. And then letter C, consequence. What happened after the behavior? So after niyang nangagat, anong nangyari? Is there something added sa environment ng bata or is there something taken away? So does he receive a good stuff or does he receive a bad stuff? All right. So again, to understand this better, I'm going to give you an example of a good stuff. Okay. So an example is, so for example, si Wilbur, si Mama, kararating galing from grocery and then dala-dala niya yung grocery bag. And then she tries to unpack all the grocery in the bag. Now si Wilbur come along, nakita niya yung candy. So Wilbur doesn't have a candy. So paglabas ni Mami ng grocery bag niya, nilabas niya yung candy. Now, what happened when he sees the candy, immediately what did Wilbur try to do? He cries. So then when he cries, ano yung immediate response ni Mami? So the immediate response is, binigay kagad ni Mami yung candy. Alright? So, when we go back dun sa core principle of behavior, anong sabi dun sa core principle of behavior? Sabi dun, right after the behavior, what you're going to do will tell kung patuloy niya yung gagawin yung behavior na yun or hindi. Now, as you can see, the behavior, so ano yung behavior ni Wilbur? Crying. Right? So that is the behavior. So is it a challenging behavior or is it an inappropriate behavior? So, di ba? It is a challenging behavior, right? So when we see when Wilbur starts to cry, what does Wilbur try to communicate on his crying? So can someone answer? Ano yung gustong sabihin ni Wilbur sa pag-iyak niya? Hello po? Nandyan pa po ba kayo? Sorry.
Ano kaya yung gusto ni Wilbur? Bakit kaya umiyak, no?
Yeah. Bakit kaya siya umiyak? What is he trying to communicate when he was crying? So yon, tama. Sabi ni Mami Lilia, I want the candy. So yun yung trying niya kino-communicate sa atin. Gusto niya ng candy. But he's trying to communicate it through a challenging behavior, crying. Now, nung umiyak siya, binigyan natin siya ng candy, the next question is, what do you think will going to happen kapag gusto niya ng candy ulit? Or pag nakakita siya ng candy, what do you think will going to happen? Anyone from the group? Tama, sabi ni Mami Annabel, laging iiyak. Iiyak ulit. Definitely, that's the right answer. Iiyak lang siya ulit. Ganun pala. Pag umiyak ako, it's so easy, bibigyan na kagad ako ng candy ni Mami. Now, the question is, sino nagturo kay Wilbur ng behavior na yon? So, can you raise your hand? Guilty ba? So, yeah, that's right, Mami Clams. Ang nagturo dun ng behavior na yun, tayo rin. Kasi, right after the behavior, binigyan natin siya ng candy. So, unknowingly, tayo pala ang nagre-reinforce ng challenging behavior na yun. Tayo pala ang nagturo sa kanya na kapag may gusto siyang bagay, he could just simply cry and get the candy. So, hindi natin alam yon. But right now, tinuturo ko na sa inyo. Ngayon, alam na natin. Now, we're going to go to the next one. I'm going to give you another example, si Wilbur ulit. So, again, Wilbur doesn't have a candy. Now, this time, nung wala siyang candy, siguro si Wilbur a little bit umiiyak, but then Mommy prompted to say, I want candy. Nung sinabi ni Mommy na I want candy, sabi ni Wilbur, I want candy. Now, immediately, nung sinabi ni Wilbur na I want candy, what did Mommy do? So, binigay ni Mommy yung candy sa kanya. Alright? So now, if we're going to look at the behavior, yung behavior ni Wilbur na saying, so speaking kapag gusto niya yung bagay, so what do you think will going to happen kapag gusto niya ng candy? So the next time na gusto niya ng candy, what will going to happen is, ay ganun lang pala. Pag sinabi ko palang I want candy, bibigyan pala ako ni Mommy ng candy. That's what will going to happen. So the next time, he will try to say it. So baka sabihin na, Teacher Angelo, hindi mo naman ako naiintindihan. Tawag dito, yung child ko hirap pa nga magsalita, hindi pa nga makapagsabi ng I want candy. Okay? So, paano yun? Diba? So, sometimes our kid, when we try to prompt the words to them, so sometimes hindi naman necessarily kailangan sabihin niyang buong I want candy. So sometimes a little bit of sound na sabihin lang niya ka for candy is enough already. It means he's trying to use his language. So yung skills na to will depend. Kapag dinesign na kayo ng program, so for example, I design a program for you, so I will going to assess the kid. So kung ang level niya is not full sentence, we're not going to use a full sentence. Sometimes we use approximations. So yun nga, sometimes sounds lang pwede na. All right? So next. So again, we're going to give you an example, si Wilbur ulit. So dito, Wilbur doesn't have a candy. Okay? Now, what happens? Wilbur starts to cry. And then eto na si Mommy. Pinrap niya, say candy. Say, I want candy. But instead, what happened? Si Wilbur, he screams and shouts and cry out loud at the top of his lungs. He didn't even try to say the word. Now, when that happened, ang ginawa ni Mommy, walang candy totally. So, what do you think will going to happen dun sa behavior ni Wilbur na crying? So do you think he will do it again next time? So, yeah, for sure he will still do it next time. But pag patuloy natin ituturo sa kanya na kapag umiyak ka, kapag nagwala ka, nagplug ka sa floor, no matter how you scream and shout, wala kang makukuhang candy. So, and then later on, he will realize, ay, ganun pala, kahit pala magsisigaw ako, kahit pala magsishout ako, I can never have that candy. Okay? So what will going to happen to his behavior of crying? Slowly, it will going to diminish. Okay? But we have to use a replacement behavior. Yun yung asking instead. All right? Nakuha po ba natin? Okay? So ito yung lagi ko sinasabi sa parent. Wala pong namamatay sa iyak. Alam ko naaawa na po tayo sa anak natin. But if it is a challenging behavior, so let's go back dun sa sinabi behavior, kung ano yung ginawa nyo, yun yung magsasabi kung patuloy niyang gagawin yung behavior na yon. Kung ang behavior is crying, and then binigyan mo siya ng candy dahil umiiyak siya, next time, he will do that again to you. 100% yan. Okay? So, nakuha po natin. So, I'm going to give you another example. So, these are example of a bad stuff. So, again, so for example, si Wilbur. So, Mommy wanted to teach Wilbur how to write. So, sabi ni Mommy, time to do your writing. Now, nung sinabi ni Mommy yon na time to do your writing, what did Wilbur do? Wilbur, ginawa niya, he get the paper and throw it, pati yung pen. So now, when Wilbur does it, ito yung masama na usual na nangyayari. So, we put them into time off, or we put them in the dark room. So again, what does Wilbur trying to communicate nung tinrow niya yung paper? Yung paper and pen sa table. So ano yung gusto niyang sabihin when he does that thing?
Ayaw niya po magsulat.
Tama, ayaw ko magsulat. Exactly. So now, what will happen if you put him in the dark room? Or tinime out mo siya dahil sa behavior niya?
Iiyak lang po.
Possible, hindi siya umiyak. Actually, happy siya. Why? So, eto na, binibigay ko na sa inyo, Mami, kung bakit importante na malaman yung reason for the behavior. It's because, so for example, itong activity na to, na tawag dito, for Wilbur, writing is a bad stuff, okay? But we have to teach him these skills, itong writing. Okay? So ayaw ko magsulat. But in an instance, we have to teach him how to write. Now, nung sinabi niya, nung ayaw niya magsulat, and then you put him into the dark room, so what happened is you still reinforce the behavior. Because nung dinala mo siya sa dark room, na-achieve niya yung goal niya, na hindi ako magsusulat. Nakuha niyo po ba? Naintindihan po ba?
Opo, pero may question po ako. Kasi po, ganyan yung anak ko, pinagsusulat ko, so tinothrow niya. So, nung dinala ko po siya sa dark room, umiyak din po siya.
Yeah, umiyak siya as a form of punishment, pero later on, what we're trying to imply here is, yeah, umiyak siya for the punishment, pero the next time na magra-writing ulit kayo, what will going to happen is greater yung satisfaction na nakukuha niya na hindi na magsulat eh. So I have this one client, tawag dito, we talk about this one. So I know she's here right now listening to us. So ito yung nangyari sa therapy center eh. Tawag dito, 1 week, ang ginawa ng anak niya is may activity and then hindi nakikipag-cooperate sa activity, he posts challenging behavior. So the activity, I couldn't remember kung writing or what. So I just put it in an example. So nung naggawa sila ng activity, the kid throws a challenging behavior. Yan. Possible, pwedeng ganito yung ginawa niya. He throws the paper or scream and shout. Now, the therapist did is, he needs to put it, nilagay niya dun siya sa dark room. Now, the following day, ng second therapy niya, ganun ulit yung ginawa niya. The third day, ganun ulit ang ginawa niya. Why? It's because, ang sabi dito ni Wilbur, ayoko magsulat eh. Now, dahil ayoko magsulat, I do this challenging behavior, you put me into the dark room, I was able to avoid writing. Nakuha niyo po? So the next time that we will do writing, ang gagawin ko lang, I will just cry. Para hindi na ako magsusulat ulit. Nakuha niyo po?
Yeah.
So, yun po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, na it is very important for you to know the reason behind the behavior. So, hindi natin alam yung intervention na ginagawa na pala natin is, tawag dito, reinforcing the challenging behavior. Like this one, yung writing niya. So, instead na magsulat siya, patuloy niyang ginagawa yung behavior na yon. It's because I wanted to escape writing. So, nakuha po natin.
Opo, na-gets na po.
Yeah,
sa akin.
so in solving this kind of issue, later on, itatakal natin yan. Kasi, so, ano pang dapat natin gawin? So, para ma-avoid to. So, what we're going to do is, we still have to put the demand. So, hindi ka makakaalis sa upuan hanggat hindi mo ginagawa tong writing natin. So, what we also can try to do para tawag dito, for example, instead presenting a whole task na itetrace niya yung letter A na isang buong papel, what we try to do is we just assist him and hand over hand na in-assist natin siya, ipaprompt natin siya to trace the letter A. Now, nung tinrace niya yung letter A, immediately pagkatapos ng isang task na yon, what we can try to do is, wow, very good, verbal praise, and then allow him to have a break for 1 minute, 2 minutes. So later on, he will realize, ay, ganun pala. Tawag dito, gawin ko lang yung isang letter A. After nun, tawag dito, makakapaglaro na ako. I can get to play with my other things. Sometimes kasi baka mamaya overwhelming yung task na binibigay natin sa kanya. And sometimes yung task is, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, Mami Queenie, bago sa kanya. This is new skill, and then you wanted to introduce na writing. Tapos ay new skill sa akin to, tapos you expected me na isusulat ko kagad lahat yan. So those are other trainings na pwede kong ituro sa inyo, yung prompting strategies. So sometimes kasi ito yung problema sa atin eh. When we ask question, so for example, may flashcard tayo, what color is this? Hawak-hawak natin yung blue. Immediately, we assume na alam na agad ng anak natin na blue yung color, without even prompting them the answer. Now, nakailang tanong na tayo, what color is it? What color is it? And we didn't even prompt the answer. In the first place, this is new skill. Ngayon ko lang na-introduce tong kulay blue sa kanya, tatanungin ko kagad siya. Of course, the response is no response. Kasi hindi ko alam yan. Kakaturo mo pa lang sa akin yan. Now, for me to be able to enjoy this thing, you have to help me. You have to prompt me. Kaya lang, minsan, tayong mga parent, when we try to do that one, sometimes we assume na alam na nila kagad yung pinapagawa natin sa kanila. Hindi po ba? So, karamihan ganon. We assume na pag sinabi natin pick it up, pupulutin kagad nila. But there are some kids that doesn't know the skill, how to pick up. Hindi pala naturo sa kanya yung skills na yun. Tapos magtataka ka, bakit siya non-compliant? Bakit hindi siya sumusunod? It's because I don't know the skill. All right? So, as we move on, okay? So, yeah. So why does my child do this challenging behavior? It is your child's way telling you what he or she wants or don't want. Okay? So, yung mga challenging behavior na yun yung nagsasabi na, tawag dito, na yun yung nagsasabi na kung ano yung gusto nila at ayaw nila. Okay? And then again, he may not care that his way of telling you is not the appropriate way. So as long as they get what they want and avoid something that they don't like, I will do it anyway. Okay? And yun, kagaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, he may not have the skills to tell you the appropriate way. hindi ko alam gawin yan. Hindi ko alam kung paano gagawin yan. Now, you can see how powerful is the behavior is. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. So, because of the behavior, nalalaman natin ano ba yung mga skills na lacking sa anak ko. Ano yung mga possible na pwede kong ituro sa kanya. Okay? So, for example, yon, non-compliance, not following instruction. So, dahil nakailang sabi na ako sa kanya, hindi siya sumunod. Yung pala yung lacking sa anak ko. I have to teach him how to follow instruction. Yung pala yung lacking sa anak ko. He cannot say what he wants. Perhaps I can teach him how to speak verbally or to use picture exchange communication system for me to be able to ask for the things that I like. So back in your own mind, alam niyo na kung ano yung pwedeng ituro. And this is how, sa therapy, this is how you kasi they are resulting already in a challenging behavior because they lack these skills. And the number one hindrance for the child to learn is for them yung mga disruptive and challenging behavior nila. Nakuha niyo po? Now, ganun pala mag-prioritize ng mga dapat ituro sa center. Kaya lang most of the time sa therapy center, Mami, ito lang po kasi muna yung ano natin ito po yung ano natin. You already know that the things that your child needs. Pero, Mami, ito po muna kasi yung gagawin natin, ito. So, no matter how much you try hard na gawin yung mga things na to at hindi na-address yung mga challenging behavior niya at hindi siya naka-learn ng new skills, the progress will be minimal. Kasi remember, those challenging behavior, yun yung naghihinder sa kanila for them to be able to learn. Okay? So, okay po? Kamusta naman po? So, na-absorb po ba natin? How was it so far? So, pa-thumbs up naman kung nakakapalo pa tayo, kung naiintindihan pa natin o kung may natututunan pa. So, yan. Right? So, okay. So, all right. So, let's go and let's proceed. Oops, sorry. Okay. So, this is what also I wanted to tell you. Okay? Pasensya na po. Medyo wala po kasi yung laptop ko nasira. So, yung slide natin medyo magalaw. Pag may napindot ako ng konti, paiba-iba na siya kaagad. So, challenging behaviors are not part of autism diagnosis. They are just side effects. So I just want to correct this one. So some of the challenging behaviors are not part, okay? So sometimes yung challenging behaviors na yon, sabi ko nga sa inyo, it is because they lack the skills and sometimes we are the one who teach them those challenging behavior unknowingly na tinuro natin sa kanila. Okay? Now, we go to the parent side. Okay? So nakita na natin yung mga anak natin. Now we go, ano ba yung behavior ng parents? Okay? So let's take a look at ourselves as parents. So the way we interact with our kids either help us get good stuff or avoid bad stuff. It's the same way. Okay? Kung paano natin tinitreat yung anak natin, it's either for us to get good stuff and avoid bad stuff. So what can be the good stuff for parents? Seeing your kid happy. This is our ultimate goal as parents, di ba? So karamihan sa atin mga parents, yan ang mantra natin. Ayoko maranasan ng anak ko yung naranasan ko when I was young. So here we are pampering them all the things that they like. As much as possible, we can give it to them. And the second important thing is some time to rest. 'Di ba? Pagod na ako sa trabaho, pag uwi ko, do I have to deal with problematic behavior pa ba? So, pagod na, exhaust na ako sa anak ko. So we wanted sometime yung rest na yon. And you deserve it, mommy. Believe me or not, you deserve a break. Especially for those mommies that a lot of kids have a challenging behavior. Okay? What can be the bad stuff? So kabaligtaran lang yan. The bad stuff is seeing your kid unhappy and dealing with the problematic behavior. All right? Now, when we go back to Wilbur, balikan natin si Wilbur. Okay? So wala siyang candy, he starts to cry. Now, when he starts to cry, so anong ginawa ni Mommy? Binigay niya na kagad yung candy kay Wilbur. Why? The consequence is, ito yung good stuff kay Mommy. I don't have to deal with the crying anymore. Pagod na ako sa trabaho, pag uwi ko, ayoko nang makarinig pa ng mga iyak-iyak. Ayoko nang makarinig pa ng mga kahit ano. So para mahinto na lang yan, sige, eto na yung candy. So that could be the good stuff for parents. Nakuha po natin yung behavior natin. So to sum it up, yan. People do what they do because they get something good or avoid something bad. So sometimes what we do is inappropriate, but as long as we get something good or avoid something bad, we do it still. Ginagawa pa rin natin. And ito yung pinaka mahirap. Sometimes what we do makes life easier short term, but harder the long term. So even though it seems okay for now, we still need to change it. We still need to change the challenging behavior. So sometimes yung ginagawa nating solution for our kids are band-aid solutions. So anong ibig sabihin? Tinatapalan lang natin yung sugat, but at the same time, yung sugat nandun pa rin. So for example, since sila Mommy dito, marami kaming nurses dito. So for example, pag inuubo ka and may plan na, may bacterial infection ka na, if you just give something para sa ubo, tawag dito, you just give a cough remedy, a cough solution na tablet, still persistent pa rin kung hindi mo siya bibigyan ng antibiotic or hindi mo siya bibigyan ng gamot for the cause of the ubo. And the cause of the ubo is the bacterial infection. And it's the same way with our kids. So yung cause ng problematic behavior niya is I am not able to tell the things that I like. If we put a band-aid solution na, sige na nga, eto na nga, ibibigay ko na nga yung gusto mo, temporary, it will solve your problem, hihinto siya. Pero afterwards, pag may kailangan pa ulit siya, anong gagawin niya? Still, iiyak at iiyak pa rin siya. Gagawin pa rin niya yung behavior na yun because we gave a band-aid solution. Nakuha po natin. So, it might be easier ngayon, very easy, tumigil yung pag-iyak niya, pero later on, what's scary is that the behavior escalate. Tapos habang lumalakas sila, So anong ibig sabihin nun? Kung una, crying lang ang ginagawa nila, now they resulted into throwing objects, they resulted into aggression, they resulted into hurting themselves. At kapag malaki na sila, at susubukan mong i-correct yung behavior na yon, it might be painful. Kasi marunong nang manuntok yan. Marunong nang manakit yan. Kaya as early as 2 years old, as early as now, habang wala pa siyang ganong ka-extreme na challenging behavior, we have to replace those challenging behavior with the appropriate behavior. Nakuha po natin? Naintindihan po ba?
Yes po.
Yes
Alright.
po.
Klaro na klaro.
Yes
Okay.
po.
So, ang tanong, can I change my child's behavior? So, would your child keep doing the problematic behavior if he or she didn't get what they want of it anymore? So, patuloy niya bang gagawin yan kapag, for instance, tawag dito, gusto niya nag-play ng cellphone, tapos nung nanakit siya, hindi mo na binigay totally yung cellphone. Do you think would you keep doing that kind of behavior? So, and next, what if she was able to get what they want for doing something more appropriate? So what if the appropriate behavior got them what they want and was easier than the problematic behavior? Diba? Okay. Yeah, sabi nga dito, what if it becomes easier to say a break than to throw a tantrum? What if you get a toy only if you say toy please and not when you scream and cry? And what if you realize you cannot leave the classroom every time you scream? So, It's easy. It does work. It will work. So yun yung sinasabi ko. Tawag dito, we have to teach them those new skills. For us to be able to eliminate those challenging behaviors, we have to teach them new skills for that behavior. Yun yung tinatawag namin sa behavioral world na replacement behavior. Okay? So, sabi dito, if you ignore problem behavior and reward good behavior, you will get good behavior instead of inappropriate behavior. Wow, that's easy. Sabi, di ba? Ganun lang pala, if I ignore yung problem behavior, huwag ko lang pansinin. So for example, he wanted a candy. Kapag hindi ka tumigil sa iyak dyan, bahala ka sa buhay mo, hindi ka makakakuha ng candy. Now, when you say candy, I'll just give you the candy. Easy. So ganun ba siya kadali? So no, it's not. So yun yung sad part. So it's difficult for it na i-correct yun. Why? Kasi ito yung natutunan niya eh. So I learned that from crying, I can get what I want. So what will going to happen when we try to replace the behavior, the more nilang gagawin yung behavior na yun. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag natin na extinction verse. When we try to extinguish a behavior, what will going to happen is that nung hindi mo binibigay sa kanya, lalo na siyang umiiyak. Nilalakasan pa niya ng nilalakasan. Sometimes may kasamang pananakit. Sometimes may kasamang pagwawala. Now, the only thing for it to get better is you have to ignore the problematic behavior. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, teacher, kailangan ko ba siyang pagalitan? Kailangan ko ba siyang i-reprimand? No. So, when they are on that situation, all you have to do is let them cry. Bahala kang umiyak dyan, umiyak ka magdamag, umiyak ka maghapon, as long as hindi niya sinasaktan yung sarili niya, as long as he's not destroying object, okay lang. Let them be. Pagkatapos yung behavior na yon, he will stop. So, yun lang yung solution doon. Kapag challenging behavior, we have to ignore. Again, uulitin ko, hindi siya madali kasi lalo niyang gagawin yung behavior, lalo siya mag-scream, lalo siya mag-shout. So, but still, you have to hold your ground. Yung consequence. No matter how hard you try, wala pa rin candy. All right? Exactly. I like the way you say it, Mami Rhea. Bonggang-bonggang deadma ang kailangan. Yes. Sometimes yun lang talaga kailangan eh, yung deadma. Sometimes you just have to leave them. Kasi the more you try to pamper them, no, don't do it, stop crying, the more that they're escalating their behavior, the more na sinasadya nila. And what happened? Iinit yung ulo mo. To the result, mapapalo mo na yung anak mo. Ang simple lang pala ng solusyon. Bonggang-bonggang deadma lang pala ang kailangan. Iwan ko lang pala siya doon. Bahala siya sa buhay niya. Ganun lang pala kailangan. Diba? So, you resulted not hitting your child at hindi rin iinit yung ulo nyo. Pero nakakarindi talaga yan, yung ingay. Yung iyak nila, yung screaming nila. Nakakaano talaga yan. But you have to correct it now. Sabi ko nga, especially for those kids na ang anak nila, mga 2 years old pa lang, 3 years old pa lang, ano yan, tawag dito, yun, i-ignore lang natin siya. Okay? Kasi kapag bata pa yan, hindi pa ganun ka-extreme, hindi pa siya kayang manakit. Hindi pa ganun kasakit, kumbaga ma-ignore mo pa. So I have this kid that is hurting me. Ang ginawa ko lang, dinidepensahan ko lang yung sarili ko. Kasi gusto niyang kuhanin yung cellphone. And then, nung hindi niya makuha yung cellphone, what I try to do, no, you cannot have the cellphone dahil hindi pwede. So I try to offer alternative objects. Dahil hindi pwede yung cellphone, I try to offer, do you want to play with the ball or do you want to play with the chessboard instead? So nung hindi niya makuha, he tried to hit me and everything. So hindi ko siya nireprimand. Hinayaan ko lang siya. I defended myself. Hindi ko rin siya tinitignan until such time na pagod siya, huminto na siya. And then he comes back to me and said, "Can I play with the ball?" And then I gave the ball. So that's how you extinguish those behavior. Okay? So next. So how can I change the problem behavior? So eto na, we have to determine the function of the behavior. So we have to identify the reinforcing consequence maintaining the behavior. Ano ba yung nagme-maintain sa behavior? What makes the behavior keeps on happening? Ano ba yung ginagawa mo right after the behavior? So why is my child behaving that way? What is he trying to communicate? So sabi nga, is he having tantrum because he wants an object? Or he is throwing himself on the floor because he wants to avoid the situation? Okay? So those are the things. Ito na yung tinatawag natin na functional behavior assessment. Okay? So we have to know the function of the behavior. Okay. Now, when we talk about functions, it's equivalent to reasons. Okay? Sa behavioral world, yun yung tawag namin function of the behavior. But in simple term, to make it easier, that is the reason behind the behavior. Yung function is equivalent to reason. Function is the reinforcing consequence that maintain the behavior. Okay? So yun yun. Again, I want you to remember this one. Consequences for behavior. So when good things happen, whether it's a good behavior or challenging behavior, kapag ang result nito is good thing happen to your child, he will do that behavior more. So ano yung good thing? When I bite you, you gave me the cell phone. So it resulted to good things. If the consequences resulted to good things, whether your behavior is appropriate or inappropriate, he will keep doing that because ang nagre-reinforce sa kanya, something good happen. Now, when bad things happen, we do that behavior less. So for example, tawag dito, I am watching TV, I put it in a maximum loud volume dahil ayaw kong i-turn it down. It resulted into turning off the TV. So something bad happens. I wasn't able to watch the TV dahil ang lakas ng volume ko. So do you think he will do that behavior again? Hindi na kasi it resulted into things that he don't like. All right? Now, when we talk about functions, there are 3 primary functions. Ito lang yung 3 dahilan kung bakit patuloy nilang ginagawa yung mga behavior na yon. So these are first, access. So second, yung escape. And then third, yung automatic behavior. So when we talk about access, these are behavior maintained by access to something specific. So we're going to tackle this one by one. Okay? So yung escape, behavior maintained by avoiding something undesirable. And then automatic, behavior maintained by pleasant sensory experience. Okay? So first yung access. So the reason behind the behavior is yung access. So it could be in a form of tangibles. So what are those? Yung cell phone, okay? Food, toys, or favorite items. So they do that behavior, they do that challenging behavior for them to be able to access these tangible things. So I cried because I wanted to play with the cell phone. So I flopped on the floor because I wanted to buy me this particular toy. So that is yung access to tangibles, one of the reasons. So kaya mapapansin nyo kadalasan, teacher lagi na lang siyang umiiyak pag hindi nabibigay yung gusto. 'Di ba? Pag hindi mo binigay yung gusto niya. So that is the function of the behavior, access to tangibles. Now the second is access to attention. So ano yung access to attention? It could be in a form of reaction or reprimand. So ano ibig sabihin nito? So sometimes they do that behavior because they wanted your attention. So for example, si Mami nakikipag-usap sa phone, naiwan si little one natin, and then yung nawala ka out of sight, suddenly nagto-throw na siya ng object. Okay? Nung nag-throw siya ng object, you tell to your child, stop it, don't do it. So, if the function of the behavior is attention, ibig sabihin, ang nagme-maintain ng behavior niya is yung reaction na binibigay natin sa kanya. So what do you think is the solution? Isip po ba natin kung ano yung pwedeng gawing solusyon kapag attention? Yung mga anak natin na nagpapapansin? Anyone? Sino pong pwedeng sumagot from the group? Wala pong right or wrong answer.
Try natin i-mute, Mami, yung ano.
So, yun. So, kapag attention yung function ng behavior natin. So, for example, yun yung gusto nila. Anong pwede natin solution? Very good. So, yeah, Ma'am Cheryl, that's right. Ignore. So, the best solution kapag attention ang gusto nila is to ignore. Bakit ignore? Bakit tama si Mami Cheryl? Kasi nga, ang nagme-maintain ng behavior is yung reaction natin sa kanila. Yung binibigay natin yung binibigay nating attention sa kanila, that maintains the behavior. So kapag ako, so for example, if I am doing something and then nagwala-wala ako and then you reprimand me, pinagalitan mo ako, I get what I want. Yun yung attention. Nakuha niyo po? Naintindihan po ba?
Yes.
Nakuha po natin, mga mommies and daddies?
Opo.
Yes po.
Yeah. So, yun yung attention. Now, paano natin isa-switch yung attention into something good? So, now, dahil alam natin ang gusto ng attention ng anak natin, what we try to do is we're going to use attention against him. How? Paano natin gagamitin? So gagamitin natin yung attention kapag may nakita tayong ginagawa siyang mabuti. So for example, you see him sitting nicely, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to verbal praise him. Wow, very good sitting nicely, Aidan. So for example, I will highlight those good behavior. Para, what? Bakit natin gagawin yon?
Para, sir, enable for them to, identify na, I did good something, which is good and
yes.
right. So,
exactly. So yun, gagawin ko yun kasi, ay, ganun pala kapag nakaupo ako ng maayos, papansinin ako ni Mami. Rather than kapag pinansin mo siya ng challenging behavior. Pag pinansin mo siya ng challenging behavior, no, stop doing that. What exactly. Is going to try? Yes. He's going to do the challenging behavior instead of the good behavior. Nakuha po natin?
Exactly. Yes po.
So that's how you switch kapag attention, yung gusto nila. So kapag alam kong gusto niya ng attention pero yung the way of asking attention for me is inappropriate, what I'm going to do, hindi ko siya papansinin. Bahala ka dyan, kahit magpapansin ka dyan. Kahit magtatatambling ka dyan. Pero nung tinawag niya ako na Mami, yun. I provide the attention. Why? Because it's a good behavior. Wow, very good calling, Mami. Nice calling, Mami. Nakuha natin?
Opo.
Yes, tama, Ma'am Donna. Para ma-motivate siya to do that appropriate behavior compared to the challenging behavior. All right? So another example for the common reasons of behavior, yung activity. So I do this behavior because I'm able to have access on watching TV or listening to music or going to the mall. So those are the reasons of the behavior. Ito yung dahilan. Access to tangible, access to attention, access to activity. Now the second reason is escape. So they do this behavior because they wanted to escape something. They wanted to escape a task. A relatively lengthy task, relatively difficult task, or unpleasant sensory experience. So when it comes to escape, so karaniwan yan pag may mga activity. So yun nga, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kapag may writing activity. So yung lengthy task, it's relative. It could be either, akala nyo mahaba na yan, pero for some, it's still maikli pa yan. Okay? So that's what we can do when it comes to escape. So instead of providing him yung whole, so for example, one whole sheet of paper, I could try to let him do yung madali lang muna. One item lang. Yung number 1 lang, for example, writing his name lang. Ito yung tinatawag namin yung task analysis. So, sige, pag may pinapagawa tayong worksheet sa kanya, gawin lang niya yung number 1, then we can reinforce. Allow him to have a little break. Then, pag ginawa niya yung number 2, until such time na sa second activity natin, the following day, 1 and 2 na yung sasagutan niya. Kasi kaya niya na. And then 1, 2, and 3 na. And then 1, 2, and 3, and 4 until such time that, tawag dito, yung task na isang buong worksheet, magawa niya na. So that's how we modify yun sa escape. So remember yun, pag escape ang behavior, so should we put them into timeout? Kailangan ba natin silang dalhin sa dark room? Nandiyan pa po kayo?
Hindi.
Hindi. Yeah, kasi it will reinforce the behavior. Okay? So he was able to escape the task. Kapag yun ang ginawa natin, he was able to escape the task. Even nga yung a little bit of throwing nga lang, pag for example, you're teaching flashcard, tapos tinrow niya yung flashcard, tapos pupulutin mo naman, it's already a form of escape. A fraction of a second is already escape sa kanila. Okay? So, unpleasant sensory experience. Ito yun. So, sometimes we have to understand our kid that sometimes it's too much for them, yung sensory overload. Yung akala mong soft sound lang sa atin, yung right sound lang sa atin, when it comes to special kids or autistic kids, it's too much. So, kakakausap ko nga lang kay Mami kanina, yung isang dating tinatherapy ko. So, because he has a sensory issue na tawag dito, na sa sound, he doesn't like popping ng balloon because yung loud sound na yon. So ang ginawa ng therapist niya, so the kid already said no, I don't like it. But still she insisted. Pinap pa rin niya yung balloon kasi tawag dito. So her goal is parang to desensitize. So parang sensory, para masanay yung bata. But the thing is, you already know, I already told you na, tawag dito, I already told you na, ayoko, I don't like you to pop it the balloon. Now, what happened to the kid? So the kid resulted into challenging behavior, hurting her. The next time, sabi pa niya, lagot sa akin yung teacher na yan. The next time, na makita kami. So sometimes we have to listen to our kids. Di po ba? Sometimes sinasabi na nila yung gusto nila and we don't listen. Pinilit pa rin natin yung gusto nila. And imagine, you do that to the kid with in the autism na sinabi niya na he doesn't like. Tapos pinop mo pa rin yung balloon and then imagine the pain that he's experiencing towards his ear. Sa akin, oo, okay lang. It's not too loud. Pero sa kanila, it is too loud. It is something hurtful. Yung mga behavior na yon. So sometimes hindi tayo nagtataka tayo bakit nila ginagawa yung behavior na yon. Sometimes they do it already in a nice way but we don't listen. So I remember this one who posted in the group na yung anak niya dinala niya sa isang play center, sa isang bagong play area. Now, tawag dito, nakapagbayad na siya ng entrance and the kid went inside for a few minutes, naglaro, and then asked the mommy to go home already. Ayaw niya na. But si mommy, hindi siya nakinig. Anong ginawa niya? Sayang daw kasi yung binayad nila dun sa play center. Sayang naman yung binayad niya. But the thing is, what happened right after? So what happened right after nung nagyaya yung anak niya, dahil ayaw niya, ang ginawa ng anak niya, nanakit siya ng mga ibang bata dun sa loob ng play area. Now, ang sinisisi niya yung anak niya. Nananakit kasi siya. He's hurting other people. So, but the thing is, I already told you, ayoko, gusto ko nang umuwi. But you still insisted to play. So, that's how they resulted into that behavior. Sometimes sinasabi na nila in a nice way, and we don't listen. That's why they end up into a challenging behavior. All right? Okay pa po ba? Kamusta po
Okay
tayo?
pa po.
All
Okay
right?
pa po. Ang ganda, ang dami naming natutunan.
All right. So, konti na lang po to. A few na lang. So, the last one is automatic behavior. So, ano yung automatic behavior? So, yung automatic behavior, these are behavior that is most likely sensory in nature. Meaning, it doesn't need someone to provide for me to be able to do that behavior. So, kumbaga, tawag ito, the behavior itself na ginagawa ko is enjoyable. So, it's automatic. So, yung mga automatic behavior na to, ito yung auditory, in nature, like music, humming, so yung they repeat scripts from the movie. So they do it because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel better. Okay? Yung tactile, so for example, you see, may mga batang nagko-collect ng mga leaves because of the texture, nahawak-hawakan nilang ganon, they collecting objects na galing kung saan, na kahit marumi, it's because maybe they like the texture. The texture of being bumpy or yung being rough na nararamdaman nila. And there also this visual, yung flashing lights, moving objects, 'di ba? Yung yung car, wheels of the car papaikutin nila at sa mata nila. So, yung visual effect nun. Yung proprioceptive, these are yung rhythmic movements. Like swinging, jumping, and then yung mga stereotype behavior. So all of this behavior are automatic behavior. Meaning, I do it because I enjoy it. So most of the time, they do this behavior kapag downtime na. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Dahil wala akong yung repertoire ko for enjoying things, ito yung alam ko ng thing na nag-enjoy ako. So yung, for example, yung wheels of the car, paikutin ko. So it's inappropriate in nature. Pero what we can try to do is perhaps we can buy a kaleidoscope, which is more appropriate. They can pick up those, and those are visual in nature. Those are activities. So all you have to do para mawala yung mga behaviors na yun, tawag dito, we have to know the reason kung bakit nila ginagawa yun. So kung visual, so we have to teach them how to play. So we have to teach them how to play things. So dyan na yung i-increase natin, ay kailangan ko pala siya turuan ng functional pretend play. I need to teach him how to play with blocks, how to play with clay. So those are the things para yung mga automatic behavior nila na meron sila, they could divert. Parang tayo as an adult, di po ba? Kapag tayo as an adult, pag naboboard tayo, what do we do? So, yun, sometimes we listen to the music and most of the time we play on our cell phone. So, alam natin yung gagawin natin. But for kids with special needs, they have very limited repertoire of plays. Hindi nila alam yung gagawin nila. But they discover that humming or they discover like swinging and jumping, it makes them feel good. So that's why they do all of those things. Nakuha po natin yung automatic behavior. So pag nagsa-self-steaming na sila, usually yun po yung reason. Bored na ako.
Tama po.
Dahil bored na ako, I am doing it because this is the thing that I know how to pacify myself, how to enjoy. Nakuha po natin? Now, you as a parent, ganun pala. I have to teach him replacement behavior, to play with things na may visual effect, or to play with toys with auditory in nature, yung mga press button. Ganon. Right? So yun po.
Sensory toys.
Yes. Opo. Sensory toys or even not sensory toys or other toys that makes them feel enjoyable. Yung mga, yung alam nilang, yung makes them feel good or feel better. Dapat equivalent nun yung ibibigay natin na equivalent consequence for us to be able to replace that behavior. Okay po?
Opo.
All right. So, why is it important to know the reason? So, sabi dito, understanding the reason can help identify a more appropriate behavior. Di ba? So, yun na yung natutunan nyo ngayon. Ganun pala, tawag dito. Hindi pala siya hindi niya masabi ang gusto niya. I need to teach him na makapagsalita. Bored na pala siya. I have to teach him new ways how to play object, new skills. So, umiiyak siya dahil hindi siya marunong makapag-wait. Now, I have to teach him the skills of waiting. Diba? So, understanding the reason can prevent inappropriate behavior from happening. How? When we go back to ABC, so remember ito, kapag ngayon may mga questions na kayo, next time pag nakita ko kayo sa group, may mga challenging behavior questions kayo, you have to put it ABC. Hindi yung sasabihin niyo lang na I have a problem sa anak ko, teacher, naiinis na ako sa kanya kasi nangangagat na siya. So, napaka-vague nung nangangagat. Kaya pag minsan may mga post akong nababasa, I ask them, ano po yung activity nyo bago siya mangagat? Kasi nag-writing kami. So 'di ba? So when it comes to solving solutions, ito yung gusto kong assignment nyo, every now and then, kuha po kayo ng notebook nyo, mag-ABC na kayo palagi. Kapag may instance na may challenging behavior happen, isulat nyo na agad. I want this an ABC logbook nyo. I can give you a copy of PDF. So yung sa ABC niya, so yung behavior niya, biting. Okay? So yung biting, tawag dito, anong ginawa prior to biting? Because I introduced a task. Magra-writing sana kami. And then, yung C, anong ginawa ko? Dahil natutunan ko kay Teacher Angelo na hindi pwede yung escape na ganon, I have to keep doing that one. Nakita niyo po? So, yung prevents inappropriate behavior from happening kasi sometimes the behavior only happens during this kind of situation. So, for example, yung flopping on the floor, alam ko na pag pumunta kami sa mall at napadaan kami dun sa toy area, magwawala na siya. So, how do you prevent the behavior from happening? Dahil nasulat ko na itong behavior na to, yun. Ay, next time, hindi na kami dadaan doon sa area na madadaanan yun. That's what we call antecedent modification. Bago pa mangyari yung behavior, dahil alam ko yung behavior niya, kapag nakita niya yung, so for example, pag may isa akong child na kapag nakakita siya ng cellphone, dadamputin niya na yung mga cellphone. So, how do I manipulate the environment to prevent that happening? Dahil alam kong paladampot ng cellphone yung anak ko, lahat ng cellphone ngayon itatago na. Nakuha niyo po?
Opo.
So that's how you do it. That's how you see the behavior. So when we try to correct the behavior, 3 ways yan. Antecedent modification, and then yung B, behavior replacement, kapag and then yung C, yung consequence. You have to change the consequence. You have to replace the unusual or challenging behavior. So yun po yun. And the next thing with that one is yun na po yung behavior plan. Okay? So now, let's take a closer look. Why is it important to know the reason? Crying to get attention. So we teach our kid new ways to get attention. Claim headache to get a break. Teach new way to get a break. And cover ears to make interesting sound. Teach another way to hear interesting sound. Okay? So kapag alam natin yung reason behind the behavior, we can provide them the appropriate skills, yung tama. And then we can extinguish the challenging behavior. Now, to sum it up, intervention that addresses the reasons for the behavior are more effective. Why? If we simply stop your child from crying and you don't address the desire for objects, the desire for attention, the desire for self-stimulatory behavior, your child will attempt other ways to get what they want and avoid the things that they don't want. And the bad thing is, these new ways may not be desirable. So that's how important it is to know the reasons of the behavior, to understand the reason of the behavior. So, yun po, that's the end of my talk. So that's the end of the parent training. So thank you po. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, then we can do it now po. Right?
Ang dami po naming natutunan, Sir Coach Angel.
Yes po.
Yung,
yun naman po yung
ay, wait tayo sa mga questions nyo po. May add lang po ako sa experience ko lang. Sa anak ko noon, kung okay lang po, while we're waiting for them. So, yung anak ko noon, may anxiety talaga siya. Humawak ng mga pen, pencil, papel. Yun, pag makita yan, wala na. Tantrums na or meltdown. Sobrang meltdown. So, yun, tama yung sinabi mo, Sir Angel, no? Find ways na or tools kung paano or siguro no yung yung gusto ng mga anak nyo. Like take for example sa anak ko. Kasi nag-OT kami nung time na yun. Kasi siya sensory seeker. Tapos gusto niya laging movement sa katawan kasi may ADHD siya. So para bang gusto niya i-release yung mga energy niya ganun. Tapos sobra siyang sensory seeker. Madaming drawings na ngayon, tapos nang susulat na, so okay na siya. Pero nung time na yun, siguro mga 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, yung ginawa namin, kasi sensory seeker siya masyado, yung ginawa ng OT, ito lang, a suggestion ko lang, if mayroon kayo, or something like same as magagamit nyo, may body board. So yung body board pala, yun yung parang nagbibigay sa kanya ng sensory input at the same time, he's enjoying the task. So, nangyayari, maski letter niyan, hindi yan alam paano magsulat or ano. So, yung ginawa ng therapist ng time na yun, may nakita kayo yung mga magnet na letters, no? Mga magnet na letter, ganun. So, tinago niya, hindi naman lahat. Siguro mga 5 muna to start with, tinago niya sa sulok na madali mahanap ng anak ko. So, yung muna siya, nag-model once. So, nahanap ng anak ko. So, nag-bodyboard siya. Para siyang nag-swimming around sa isang room na para bang ginamit niya as swimming pot, bodyboard. So, pag nakuha ko na yung letter. So, ano yung gagawin? Pinasulat muna dun sa pen, sa paper, before maghanap na naman ng ibang letter. So, para bang nag-enjoy pala yung anak ko. Sabi ko, tapos lots of phrases, no? Like, sabi niya, it's fun pala magsulat kasi I'm enjoying myself. Parang nabibigay mo yung sensory input. At the same time, parang hindi pala siya threatening na activity, no? So yun, parang nawala na yung anxiety tsaka tantrums kasi pag the whole session, mga 5 or 6 lang hinanap niya na letters sa around the room. So maski hindi bodyboard, no? Like siguro sample lang, like naglalaro lang kayo sa bahay. Like okay, ikaw yung mag-start muna to model your child. Tapos siya na yung sa next na sa letter. Try nyo lang parang kasi effective sa amin kasi sensory seeker yung anak ko. Tapos ever since noon, maganda na yung parang hindi na siya threatening yung activity sa amin. Hindi na niya tinatapon yung pen, hindi niya tinatapon yung yung ginawa namin. So parang so in a way, sabi ni teacher teacher Angel, ni Coach Angel, na para bang you have to teach the tools, 'di ba? Kasi pag direction yung pasulat niya, hindi pala niya alam or hindi pala siya nag-i-enjoy or feel niya siguro threatening yung activity sa kanya. So, you make it fun for them. Yun yung sa experience ko. Share ko lang.
Yeah. So, based from those experience, Mami, so yun nga po yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung consequence. Now, he learns that it is enjoyable pala. So, the more that he's doing that kind of thing. So, nalaman ko na yun pala, hindi naman pala siya ganun ka, hindi pala siya ganun ka, kahirap gawin. Madali lang pala siya gawin. So, he do that behavior. He do that behavior often. So, yun nga palagi natin iisipin, yung consequence. Because the consequence will always tell you kung patuloy niyang gagawin yung behavior na yan or hindi. Now, address lang natin itong question ni Ma'am Helen. So, sabi na dito, when do we ignore the bad behavior and when do we intervene? Like offer something better to replace the behavior. Now, when the behavior, ganito po kasi yan. So, when it is challenging behavior, tawag dito, so for example, he wanted something. Okay? So we try to replace kaagad yan. So for example, he wanted the cell phone, pinaka-common. Gusto niya yung cell phone. So but the way he communicate is through crying and shouting. So we have to correct it. Kung verbal naman siya, say, cell phone please. So pag sinabi niyang cell phone please, then that's the time that I gave him the cell phone. Now, kung hindi niya ginawa yun, and instead, he screamed, he shouted, and then he flops on the floor, that's the time that we ignore. So, hindi natin siya papansinin. Unless he comes back and say, yung gusto natin pagawa sa kanya. I want cell phone or cell phone please. So, kapag challenging behavior po kasi, talaga, ang total gagawin natin is ignore. Pero pag right behavior, we reinforce. We acknowledge. Okay? So hindi po madali yung ignore. Kaya nga yung sinabi ko po sa inyo, kasi the more that we try to ignore them, the more silang nagsisigaw, the more silang nagwawala. The more nilang ginagawa yung challenging behavior. And then, come to think of it, nandiyan pa yung mga lola. Bigay mo na nga kasi para tumigil na yung iyak niya, ibigay mo na yung bigay mo na yung gusto niya. 'Di ba? So how difficult it is for the parents. Okay?
May ask lang po ako. Apo, kasi po yung anak ko, pag every time na may visitor kami or nasa labas kami, lagi niyang pinupul yung mask tsaka hair. Paano po ang pwedeng gawin doon?
Kapag nasa labas po, kanino pong mask at kanino pong hair?
Sa akin, sa ate niya or sa daddy niya. Ganun po.
Nangyayari lang po siya kapag
Nasa labas. Yeah.
Dito rin po sa bahay, pagka may dumarating kaming visitor or lagi niyang pinupul yung mask. Hindi ko po alam kung anong reason niya.
Okay, so ang pwede natin gawin doon is, ikaw mo lang muna tatanungin ka, Mami, ano mo pwedeng gawin? Tingnan ko kung may natutunan ka. What do you think yung pwedeng gawin, Mami?
Turuan siya na wag ipul yung mask.
Turuan po siya wag ipul yung mask. But the thing is, I think he likes that. Sa tingin nyo, yung ang function ng behavior, I think he likes the mask.
Ganun.
So he likes the object ng mask. So I assume hindi ko kasi alam yung right situation or yung it may be yung tawag dito, it may be he likes the mask itself or he likes the reaction when you pull the mask. So sometimes you give reaction perhaps attention So it could be something. So hindi ko lang po alam sa kanya. So pag pinul niya yung mask, anong ginagawa niyo po?
Binibigyan ko siya ng sarili niyang mask pero ayaw niya isuot.
So, ayaw niya isuot. So perhaps he just wanted to play with the mask.
Pero binibigyan ko rin po siya yung play
Pag binigyan niyo po siya ng mask, does the behavior, huminto na po ba yung behavior or lalapit pa rin po siya para i-pull yung mask?
Lalapit
Nung
pa rin
ibang
po siya
tao?
para lalapit pa rin po siya.
Okay. So most likely it's a combination ng mask and then yung reaction.
Kasi like
and,
kagaya po sa therapist niya.
So what we can try
kasi
to do, Mami, sige po.
Every time po kasi yung therapist niya pumupunta dito sa house. So lagi pong nakamas yung therapist niya. So every time po pagka pinupul niya po ng pinupul.
Yeah. So yun nga po, the function is yung reaction that you gave to him when he tried to pull. Yung attention na nakukuha niya when pulling that one, and then you say stop, don't do it. So kaya yun yung hindi the mask itself kasi sabi niyo binigyan niya siya ng sarili niyang mask and then hindi. So what he likes is the reaction from others na nakukuha niya from pulling it. It might be yung pag-pull niyo, aray, umaray kayo, or sinabi niyo stop, don't do it, or a little pinch of a little reaction na don't do that. So yun yung nagme-maintain ng behavior niya. So to solve that kind of problem, so what do we try to do? So alam na natin na nagpo-pull ng mask siya. So antecedent modification. So prior pa lang, kung pwedeng walang mask, wag na magsuot ng mask. Nakuha niyo po, Mami? Para tawag dito, wala na siyang ipo-pull na mask. So the behavior from pulling the mask won't happen.
How about pag sa labas?
Kapag nangyari na siya, so tawag dito, since attention siya, yung reaction na nakukuha niya, hindi natin siya papansinin. Hindi natin siya ire-reprimand. Hindi natin siya sasabihan na don't do that one. So instead, what I'm going to try to do... Ano po yan, Mami?
Kahit po sa public, mag-iiyak siya. Siyempre po, nakaka-disrupt ng ibang tao. Pag sa labas po...
Nag-iiyak po siya dahil po dun sa... Pag nag-pull na siya in the public ng mask, tatanggalin na nga natin yung mask at the beginning. Kung wala kung possible na pwedeng walang mask para hindi na mangyari yung behavior. So yun yung first solution natin. So tawag dito, kung alam natin na nagpo-pull siya ng mask, so ilalayo na natin yung mask natin sa kanya or lalayo na tayo sa kanya into things na hindi niya maaabot. Yung mask natin.
Sir, pwede ako mag-add? Mag-add lang ako.
Ay, sige po.
Kasi ako naman, nakaka-relate ako kay Mami. Ako naman kasi, I'm a behavioral therapist dito sa Dubai. Tapos, I'm working in school as a technician. So, ngayon, syempre, I'm dealing with my students na talagang I have to wear mask. Kasi nga, alam naman natin yung sitwasyon. When it comes to that, Mami, mahalaga, number one, tama yung sinabi ni Sir, let's adopt the ignore planned procedure. Ignore natin yung bata, huwag tayo magpakita ng kahit na anong reaction regarding dun sa aggressive behavior ni baby or ng bata. And then right after that, kapag naman nasa public, nagbigyan natin ng physical blocking. Physical blocking, kung alam na natin na, oops, eto na, mag-grab na siya. Oh, hands on your lap. Intervention, antecedent intervention na hands on your lap o kaya hands on your table, yun, pwede na rin yun. So physical blocking, pwede din na kung saan nahawakan natin yung kamay, okay, we are in the public. Tapos, kasi yung mga bata nakakaintindi din yan, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin hindi. So you have to redirect, after the ignore, redirect. Okay, hands on your lap. Okay, you can say, oh, what do you want? Redirect na natin siya. Introduce na natin yung pwedeng anong bagay na pwede niyang hingiin in a nice way. So, yun yung makakatulong. Kasi naiintindihan ko siya dahil nasa public na lugar. Hindi pwede tayong magtanggal ng mask sa Pinas. Otherwise, meron tayong, hindi ko alam dyan kung may fine. Pero dito kasi sa amin talagang lagi at all times kailangan may mask ka. So yun yung ginagamit namin. Ignore, redirect, lagi yung bata. Kapag naman nasa public at na meron ng aggression, physical blocking. Physical blocking, then redirect uli yung bata. Yun lang po yung pwede ko.
Yes po. So that is the right thing to do po, Mami. So tawag dito, yun nga po, antecedent modification. Then tama din yung sinabi ni teacher na tawag dito, pag alam na, yung physical blocking na alam na natin na tawag dito na nanghahablot siya ng nanghahablot siya. So later on pa lang kung pwedeng yung kamay niya malayo na talaga sa natin. So we have to do that one. Or the other thing that we can try to do is let him hold something. So while you're walking outside, pwede niyang dalhin yung teddy bear niya, hawak-hawak niya. Since may hawak-hawak na siyang teddy bear, tawag dito. So I think there would be no chance for her dahil may hawak siya na manghabulot pa ng mask. So that is another thing that you can do. Na dahil may occupied yung hands niya, so may hirapan siyang maghablot. Or you can bring yung favorite toy niya, na yun nga, kung favorite niya yung teddy bear, so hawak-hawak niya na yun, yung teddy bear ngayon. So while you were walking, so it will prevent her na manghablat pa ng mask.
Sir, pwede din natin siyang sabihin na sir, sensory din minsan lalo na more on visual siya. Kasi yung mga bata na yan, they're very particular sa mga batang, alam mo yung may mga, sila yung very particular na, may mali, there's something wrong. Ang nila dyan
Tama.
Why you are wearing mask? I'm not wearing mask. So why you are wearing mask? So the tendency, the reaction, though there is na already an aggression and challenging behavior, mali talaga siya. Yun yung inaano nila. Yun yung reaction. Kasi they don't know what to do. They don't know how to express themselves. So pwede din natin siya, aside from attention din siya, sir, is pwede natin sabihin sensory din more on visual na yun na. Nakita nila na parang parang hindi siya, they're not usual to see that. Kaya nagiging din siya.
So, sabihin na natin, it's more on, tawag dito, dahil new sa paningin nila, yun nga, sabi ko, iniisip ko, it might be tangible. Pero sinabi mo nga, nung binigyan mo siya ng isang, ng object,
mas binigyan
mo siya ng mas, hindi pa rin niya
hindi niya sinuot.
I assume that it is yung reaction na binibigay nyo. Na kapag hinatak niya yung mask, yung reaction na nireprimand niya siya, na sinabihan niya siya don't do it, yun yung nag-maintain ng behavior niya. So, the other thing that you can try to do is lalabas pa lang kayo, preempt mo na sa kagad sa kanya yung good hands. Wow, nice hands ha. So, yun yung sinabi ko, kapag attention na sinisik nila, you direct them into a behavior na while you were walking, wow, very good. For example, Ninya yung pangalan ng anak mo, you have a nice and still hands. Good job. Tapos after nun, pag uwi nyo, hindi kayo hindi siya nanghablot ng mask, then provide reinforcer sa kanya. I-reinforce nyo yung good behavior. So, yun din. Prior pa lang, alam nyo na, in 5 minutes or in 3 minutes. Kasi sa amin, sa mga minimeasure namin din yan kung kailan mangyayari. Sometimes yung tolerance niya, 1 minute lang. After 1 minute, ibibigay ko na sa kanya agad. Very good, Ninya. Great hands. Give me high five. So, yun. Nabigay ko na yung attention. Since I gave the attention sa kanya in a nice way, tapos yung nice hands, it will make her more na to feel na, oops, mag-nice hands lang pala ako, papansinin na ako ni Mami. So hindi ko na kailangan hatakin pa yung mask. So those are the ways po.
Tama.
Thank you po.
So those are some ways po.
Yun.
So kaya
na may matutunan tayo.
So alam niyo, kaya ko po tinuro yung ABC sa inyo. Kasi yung mga component na po na yan, is yun din yung component when you try to do a behavior intervention plan. I want you to think out of the box. Ano ba yung A antecedent? What could prevent the behavior from happening? Yun na kagad yun yung iisipin natin. Ang pwede kong gawin yun. Yung sinabi namin, antecedent modification. So simula pa lang, mag-walk kami sa labas, I have to give him the something na hawak-hawak niya, yakap-yakap niya para hindi na maghahawak, para hindi na siya makapaghablot. So I will give him from time to time, I will give him the attention. Na-measure ko na within 1 minute, magsisik na to ng attention bago pa mag 1 minute. Ako na mismo ang papansin sa kanya for the good behavior that he's doing. So, yun, behavior replacement, pwede naman pag behavior replacement, if he wanted that one, he can ask for it nicely. Can I borrow your, can I borrow the face mask? I like the face mask. So, or kung attention yun, so pwedeng i-redirect mo to seek your attention. Mommy, yung consequence, yun nga, you give verbal praise for the nice hands. Binigyan mo na siya na hindi niya, for not pulling the mask. Nakuha po natin?
Opo. Thank you po.
Parang maganda po yun na response.
So always look for the ABC. Always look for the ABC of the behavior. So lagi niyang titignan po yung ABC ng behavior. So, Mami, may mga tanong pa po yung mga iba. Sorry po, baka may mga na-miss po ako.
Baka may tanong pa kayo.
Sino si... Hello po. Ito si Raz. Si Raz po.
Yes po. Good afternoon po.
May video ka. May video ka, sis? May video ka?
Hindi medyo mahina yung ko.
Sige po. Sige, okay lang
sis
po.
Raz.
Hello po. Good afternoon. Hi, Sir Coach Angelo. I appreciate yung mga input mo kasi parang kami, naghahanap kami ng mga information. Although sometimes, by experience, we acknowledge yung mga behavior nila. In addition din, yung mga sinabi yung prompting, yung mga prevention, which is very important for us. However, for addition for ma'am, kay Miss JBL, yung kanina po, ako kasi ma'am, just to share it, may mga ganyan cases akong behavior to my son. Ang ginagawa kong addition, pag may nakikita akong behavior sa labas, pina-practice ko sa bahay. I gathered the cousin, I gathered kung sino nandito, then I let my son realize na mali itong ginagawa niya para hindi na magawa sa labas. So, I assume na kung pwedeng gawin muna sa bahay. Like what Coach Angelo said, matatalino kasi yung mga batang to They know kung kailan sila pwedeng gumawa na eksena. So, inside the house, kung pwede mo siyang i-practice ma'am, sa mga kapatid niya, it's really big help for them. Paglabas nila sa public, they know how to control. Yun po, just for addition lang.
Yes. So yun po. Yun tama rin yung sinabi ni Ma'am Raz. So kaya lang, when it comes to teaching skills kasi, di ba, every child is unique. Kaya nga siya tinawag na spectrum disorder. So iba-iba rin yung age, iba-iba yung ways of nila. Iba-iba. Kaya nga it's important to gather data. So iba-iba rin yung skills na nagagawa nila. So yung kay Ma'am Raz, if it is possible, kung may discerning na siya na gano'n, tawag dito, may discerning na siya na alam niya yung right and wrong, so you can practice that one. So what we try to do that one, sa therapy session na yan, dahil alam na namin yung mga problematic behavior na yan, na nakalista yan, so bago pa mangyari yan, ini-incorporate namin sa therapy. So what do? We do social comic strip. Ano po yung social comic strip? But you can use this one for those kids that high functioning na, that they understand. So pero sa mga early, depende sa skills. So what we try to do, we draw. So for example, this is mommy. Tawag dito, idodrawing yon, si mommy nakamas, and then for example, may isang bata pinul yung mask, tapos how does mommy will feel? So kung alam na nila yung skills ng kung alam na nila yung skills ng tawag dito, cognition skills of emotions. So pag hinatak mo yung pag hinatak mo yung face mask niya, how does mommy feel? Anong mararamdaman niya? Pwede siyang magalit, it may be fun, it may not be. So is it the right behavior or not, or hindi? So parang ito lang yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, Mami Queenie, yung tawag dito, yung problem solving. So you don't put the answers, hindi mo sinasabi sa kanila na tawag dito, mali yung ginagawa mo. But then you make them realize. Pero that is if the skill of your child is already na nakakaintindi na ng ganong situation. We can do all those things. Pwede natin gawin, pwedeng i-preempt na natin. Pero kung wala pa tayo sa level na yun, so hindi pa natin siya magagawa. It means, oops, yun pala, kailangan ko pala siya turuan ng cause and effect. Kailangan ko pala siya i-increase yung cognition skills niya. You see, those problematic behavior will tell you kung ano yung mga skills na gusto pa natin, na pwede nating ituro. That is useful, sound. Doon sa mga anak natin. Hindi yung basta yung skills na lang na kung saan-saan. So, from the behavior itself, we can come up with another program kung ano yun. Kung ano yung mga pwedeng skills na pwede natin gawin. Okay? So, may tanong pa po?
May tanong pa ata sa group chat dito. Si Cha Abrigo, andito ka pa sa sa Zoom. Andito ka pa, Cha? Pwede kang magtanong kay Sir. May tanong siya
Yes po.
Hello, Cha? Cha Abrigo? Narinig mo
Yes
kami,
po.
May tanong po kayo. Ako na lang magbasa po. Okay din. Basahin ko lang po yung question niya.
Sige po.
Hello po. Ask ko lang po, pag may visitors kami, nagiging super hyper ng anak ko, as in hyper na to the point na nakakasakit na siya. Naghahagis ng mga gamit kahit di siya pansinin. Mas ginagawa pa niya. Thank you.
Yep. Most likely, yung behavior na yan is also seeking attention. Kasi dahil may bisita kayo, yung full attention na meron sa kanya, na may pinoprovide nyo sa kanya, nahati na ngayon. So, kayo na rin nagsabi, the more na hindi mo siya pansinin, the more niyang ginagawa. Why? Yun yung tinatawag kasi natin na extinction burst. When we try to extinguish the behavior, kaya nga sabi ko, hindi siya ganun kadali. Ang dali kong kinukwento sa inyo kung paano gagawin. Pero when the behavior happens, they will keep doing that. Yun yung tinatawag natin na burst. Kumbaga kung may graph tayo, pag ini-extinguish natin yung behavior ng seeking of attention, for the first few days, it will rise. Lalo nilang gagawin yung behavior na yun. Lalo silang magwawala. And they could even escalate that behavior. So they could throw things and hurt other people. So the thing is, we have to remain. Kapag attention yung function ng behavior niya, the reason for the behavior, kahit ginagawa niya na yun, we don't provide him attention. But it's quite difficult kasi may mga bisita tayo. Di ba? So, yun yung medyo mahirap doon. May mga bisita tayo. So what we can try to do is, dahil nandun na tayo sa situation na yun, someone has to go and lock up siya sa room, sa taas, and then no matter how much he cries there, sige lang, because you have to attend to your visitor Someone na titingin sa kanya doon. So if he learns na, ay kahit pala may bisita, hindi pala ako papansinin ni mami, kahit magnangawa ako, hindi pala ako papansinin ni mami. For the first coming days, it will burst. Sabi ko nga, extinction burst ang tawag dyan. And then from the coming days, habang nangyayari yun, babagsak at babagsak na yan. Yun na yung babagsak yung behavior niya, hindi niya nagagawin. Pero at the very beginning, he will do that. He will do it a lot. Even dun sa, hindi lang yan sa attention, even dun sa crying na pag may mga gusto silang object, they will cry at the top of their lungs just to get their objects. They will hurt you just to get the object. Pero dahil we're trying to extinguish that one, at the beginning, tataas talaga yan, the more niyang gagawin. But if we are consistent that we ignore that behavior, later on, bababa na yan. Nakuha po? So yung sa may daughter na may, yung sa daughter na may nagsi-seizures, medyo difficult kasi yan. Yung situation na yan. So it will depend upon the situation kasi yung sabi niya dito, nagsi-seizure yung anak niya kapag tawag dito. Ayan, paano po kung nakakaranas na po siya ng seizure, okay lang ba na hayaan lang siya umiyak ng pag meron na po siyang gusto na hindi pwede ibigay. So, hindi ko po masagot na ng ano. So how do you define yung seizure? Sabi mo, medyo difficult kasi yan.
Ko na lang, mag-add na lang ako kasi may medical area naman ako na idea no.
Opo.
So, if laging nagsi-seizure, you have to ask your doctor talaga nun to have it under control. Hindi pwedeng nagsi-seizure lang. Kasi meaning nun, if nagme-meds na kayo tapos nagsi-seizure pa rin lagi, that means you need to look at your meds again. So, hindi yung pwedeng like na everyday or siguro ma-decrease, no? Hindi yung parang 20 times a day kasi umiiyak siya, nag-seizure agad. May ibang titingnan talaga yan ng doktor niyo. So, wag niyong hayaan. Kasi yung problema with the seizure, it decreases oxygen in the brain. So, that means yung problema sa brain, you have to have it under control, ha? Yun yung mga seizure. So, wag niyong iwan na nagsi-seizure yung anak niyo for how many times a day. Pag tingin niyo, nag-increase yung number ng seizures, you have to get your child looked at.
Yeah, you have to seek medical attention po.
Yeah. Kasi hindi niyo ma-treat yung ibang problema pag yan hindi siya na under control.
Yeah. May mga tanong pa po?
Sir, gusto ko lang itanong tungkol sa case ng anak ko. Sometimes may ugali po kasi na pag may gusto, tapos yung tinuturuan ko sa waiting time. Tapos pag sinasabihan ko, okay, you wait for 5 minutes before you get it. Halimbawa yung scissors, gusto niya mag-scissors. Tapos, no, you wait. Ganun na naman, ganun na ang ang biglang reaction niya. Tapos, no, you wait. Ganun na. Hinuulit-ulit na niya yung sinasabi ko na wait. Tapos pag binigay ko na yung scissors na after 5 minutes, tapos na binigay ko na yung scissors na gusto niya, ang ginagawa niya, tinatapon na niya. Ayaw na niya. Yung ganun na ugali niya.
Opo.
Doon ako nagka-challenge minsan.
Opo. Mami, tawag dito, the thing is, paano kayo nagsimula ng waiting skills?
Nung una kasi sir, di ba, tinuturuan ko siya mag-waiting. Okay, mag-start kami ng 3 minutes hanggang sa maabot namin yung 5 minutes na before niya makuha yung gusto niya, dapat mag-learn muna siyang mag-wait. Tapos may time lang na, sir, na parang, actually hindi ko matandaan, may time na nasanay na kami na before you do it, you wait. Hanggang sa, ako na yung niya, parang tinutularan na, no, you wait. Ganun na siya sa akin. Pero pag binigay ko na yung gusto niya, itatapon naman niya, nagalit na siya, parang ganun, sir.
Opo, kasi ang napansin, dun sa waiting skills kasi, we slowly increase the waiting skills. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, sa amin, mini-measure namin yan. So for example, ang waiting skills niya, tawag dito is, sometimes we start with 10 seconds nga lang 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Slowly increase. Yung 5 and 10 seconds. Tapos yung 2 minutes wait, 3 minutes and 5 minutes waiting, that is, wala naman talagang nag-wait na naka 5 minutes na nakaganyan ka lang. So, tawag dito, sometimes we do activities kahit na naghihintay tayo, di ba? Pag naghihintay tayo, we do the self, nag-ano tayo sa self. And for a child, for you to lang na nakaganyan lang siya 5 minutes, it's too much. So, siguro may mali lang dun sa strategy na tawag dito na ng pagturo ng waiting skills, we slowly increase that one. Hindi natin siya basta-basta ini-increase na from 3 minutes, 5 minutes na kagad. So, ngayon, frustrated na yung bata kaagad So, kaya hindi na reinforcing sa kanya yung scissors anymore. It's more on a frustration na sa kanya. Hindi na siya enjoyable, kaya tinatapon niya na yung scissors. So, probably yung waiting skills natin is nag-shift kagad kayo ng from 3 minutes to 5 minutes na kagad. So, tapos, how fun ba yung sa scissors? So, baka pagbigay niyo ng scissors, it's to provide him another activity na tuturuan niyo na naman siya ng another skills with the scissor. It's not playing. So, it means I waited, tapos another task na naman. So, for example, kung another task yun, kung tawag dito, dahil very good ka waiting for the scissor, instead of the scissor yung maging reinforcer ko, ibig sabihin, yung waiting niya ng scissor, hindi reinforcing yung scissor sa kanya. Baka pwede kong samahan siya ng favorite chocolate niya or favorite candy kung possible. Para maging mas more reinforcing. Kasi yung scissor, baka naiisip mo sa scissor, it's another task. Pinaghintay mo ako, tapos pagkatapos ko hintayin yung scissors, magka-cut naman pala tayo ng mga activity, another activity na naman. Which is activity na naman, na hindi naman reinforcing. Hindi ko na gustong gawin yung activity. So, samahan mo siya ng reinforcer na pleasing sa kanya na gusto niya. So for example, he get to get a piece of chocolate after waiting for 5 minutes. Nakuha niyo po?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
parang mahaba-haba na talaga, no? Tsaka si Sir Angel, daming na-discuss na din natin niya ngayong hapon. Tapos, parang ang daming na-cover talaga natin, no? So, siguro what do you think, madam? Isa na lang, kasi baka busy din ito si Sir, eh. No? Mang 2 hours na din siya,
Yes.
di ba?
Kaya pa po ba?
Oo, kaya po ba? Isa na lang siguro.
Kaya naman po. Okay
Oo,
naman
ano,
po.
hindi ko nakikita yung question. Ano bang pinakamabigat na question dyan, madam? Hanapin, hindi mo makabasa ng question, actually.
Meron
Bakit
isa dito,
kaya?
nandito kaya si Ma'am Karen de la Peña. How about for spitting behavior? Usually spits water while drinking and then play with the water on the floor. Problema na rin po kasi sa school, baka madulas daw siya or mga classmates during snack time. So we tried to be calm every time we do it kasi nga po tawan-tawa after doing yun. And we let him clean up his mess sometimes. Sometimes he obeys or let him play water in the tap or sink. Pero ganun pa rin po araw-araw while he drinks.
So how about for spitting usually? So tawa siya ng tawa on his own or tawa siya ng tawa dahil may reaction coming from other people. So dun sa behavior niya na spitting. So yung niluluwa niya yung tubig or in spitting. So I need to know kasi dyan if it's doing it automatic. Okay? The thing itself is enjoyable or is he doing it because yung mga classmate niya nagre-react, yung teacher niya nagre-react and then natatawa siya sa mga reactions ng mga teachers niya. So, yun. So, you have to know that one. So, medyo tricky din kasi to kasi nasa school. 'Di ba? Nasa school yung bata. Tapos maraming taong nakakakita. Tawag dito, hindi rin kagad nako-correct yung behavior. So, kapag ano kasi siya, kapag attention kasi siya, ginagawa niya because of the attention na nakukuha niya, na pinagbawalan siya, tapos nung pinagbawalan siya, natatawa siya, tapos nung dumura siya, nagre-react yung mga classmate niya, parang game sa kanya yan. So it's quite difficult.
Parang
kasi
self-gratification.
Ginagawa niya yun kasi just to, because of the reaction na nakukuha niya sa classmate niya na excuse me, pagluwa niya, tatawa yung classmate niya or papagalitan siya ng teacher niya and then sa kanya, sabi niyo, natatawa pa siya. So I don't know kung yung natatawa siya, it's because of tawag dito.
Playings.
It's because of the reaction of others or it's because the sensory na nararamdaman niya sa loob ng bibig niya. So kung sensory in nature yan, so we have to find ways to alternate that one na pwede niyang gawin na iba na tawag dito that he can have an oral satisfaction na yung nararamdaman niya pag nag-aano siya ng tubig na so we can give something probably chewables, baka he likes the sensation na meron dun sa ano niya sa bibig niya na nararamdaman niya. So those are the things that we can provide. So we have to determine first if it is caused by reaction by other people or self-stimulatory siya. Okay?
Okay. So, sir, parang walang katapusan. Daming mga questions talaga, sir. Parang
Yes po.
Magandang gabi pa tayo matatapos nito.
So for those po, dito, you can send me a message if I can help you. So yun na lang po yung pwede nating gawin. You can just simply send me a message and then probably we can write a behavior intervention plan. So the next thing kasi hindi ko actually hinati ko pa tong lecture na to. The next thing to do this one is paano mo i-create yung behavior intervention plan. Yung BIP naman na yan na yung sinasabi kong mga solutions. Yung tinitignan natin yung antecedent, yung behavior, and then yung consequence. So the thing that I gave to you, yung understanding pa lang yung reason behind the behavior. Iba pa yung
Sir, pwede to ma-follow up. Pwede to ma-follow up tong talk mo para continuous next time hopefully.
Pwede, opo. Ganun po, opo. So, yun po.
Parang maganda, interesting. Oo. Parang ang dami talagang nilang tanong. But I mean, kasi sobrang interesting po. At saka pwede kung may oras pa lang si Teacher Angel, kung may oras pa lang gagawin natin hanggang overnight. Pero alam natin si Teacher Angel pinaunlakan lang talaga niya tayo. We know that he's busy din masyado. At ang dami talagang mga online pa rin yung mga members. So
yeah. So I will try to get to you one pag may time po ako, yung mga iba pong I can try to answer you one by one. So yun po yung help na pwede ko rin pong ibigay sa inyo. So the thing is, my take is yung since naintindihan niyo na siya, yung reason behind the behavior. So kaya kanina yung parent tinanong ko, ano yung sa tingin yung pwedeng gawin? You practice it to write it na. Kasi kapag sinulat niyo yung behavior problem nila, yung antecedent niya, yung behavior niya, at saka yung consequences niya, you on your own sometimes can create na, ganito pala yung pwede kong gawin. So that's the main tawag dito, goal ko rin, na para kahit paano kung wala ako, hindi pa available, you can come up solutions by simply looking at the behavior. Ganun lang pala, kailangan ko pala siyang i-form into its simplest form para maintindihan ko. Para, ganun pala, kailangan ko pala siyang turuan ng ganito dahil hindi niya nagagawa to. So, that's the main reason. Kaya, tinuro ko po sa inyo how to divide the behavior into its simplest form for you to be able also to come up on your own. Pero, of course, if you need advice, tawag dito, you can just simply message me. Yun po.
Wow, thank you po. So yung ni teacher ni Coach Angel. Kasi minsan pag nagfo-form tayo sa brain lang natin itong gagawin ko tsaka ganung B, tsaka C, mahirap, no? Pwede niyo sigurong isulat sa papel niyo, like A, B, C yung intervention. Tapos isulat niyo, ano kayong magagawin ko? So para bang nagbi-brainstorm din kayo. Para bang kasi minsan mahirap parang i-ano lang sa brain na anong gagawin. So para siguro mas kasi pagbalikan nyo, ito parang behavior, ano bang ginawa ko nung last time? So mabalikan nyo, no?
Exactly. So, and you can show, and you can see the patterns kung kailan nila ginagawa.
Tama.
Ginagawa lang nila to kapag ginagawa lang nila to kapag may gusto siyang isang bagay.
Oo, tama.
So, okay. Alright? So, thank you po. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Teacher Angel. Ang dami naming natutunan. Promise, maski ako. Ang dami kong challenging behavior until now. Pero, parang confirmation na din na, tama pala yung ginawa ko. Hindi pala tama yung ginawa ko. So, siguro may improve ko konti. Kasi, yung mga stuffs na hindi mo pala akalain, reinforcing pala yung behavior, no? Yun pala yun, like mga unconscious mong ginagawa sa everyday mo na life. Yun pala yung nakaka-cause ng big outburst in the future. Una pala, nagsa-start lang siya mga maliliit na bagay hanggang sa naging malaki na at nagiging mas malaking problema na. So, yun, nung maliit pa sila, konting problema, ngayong malaki na, malaking problema. Kasi na-build up na pala nila yung may skills na din yung mga bata pala. Kasi yung kasi kasi sila di ba? Very good sila sa very, very, ano ba yan? Para bang, ano, mga bata, yung alam nila yung mga techniques around how to go around with my mom, how to go around with my dad.
Exactly.
So yun, ang sobra talaga, yung nalalagay ka na sa bulsa, ang dami kong problema ganyan ngayon. So, so yun, babalikan ko yung mga, ano, mga,
Because they are learned
nagawa
behavior.
ko.
Yung po yung
It doesn't
learned
mean,
behavior nila sa inyo.
Oo, it
Na
doesn't
sabi
mean
nila,
oo, doesn't mean po siguro, no, na may problema na ngayon, you still can't do anything. So, it's not too late. It's not too late. So, yun.
yes po. All right. So, again, thank you po.
Okay. Salamat po, Sir Angel. Salamat po
Alright.
masyado. And to all the members.
Thank you.
Thank you masyado. Thank you po
Thank you.
masyado.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you po.
Good
And sa
afternoon
lahat
po.
na nag-join sa amin ngayong hapon at saka sa next time na naman po, antubayan niyo yung next namin na lecture. So, mga magandang mga lecture namin next time. Salamat po at magandang weekend sa lahat.
Topics na.
Opo. Hindi ko na ma-remember yung next, pero maganda pa rin. Oo. Sige, you have a lovely, lovely afternoon sa lahat at saka lovely weekend sa lahat. Salamat. Thank you po. Thank you.